Let's check in with the commodities market, where the bare knuckles tariff war between US and China is bringing the world, or nearly brought the world stock market to its knees on Monday. Wall Street was full of bloodletting. Chinese market all in red. Starting Tuesday, not looking any better, but stock futures in the US and the European markets are looking a little bit green early today. Meantime, crude oil is enjoying a bit of the face-off between Washington and Beijing. We're seeing Brent crude now at the top of $72 a barrel. Let's put all of this in the barrel of this conversation with Adimo Kwesa, who is a member of the economic think tank at Financial Derivatives. He's live to us from here, our global headquarters. Good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning, Wilson.
These are two elephants fighting. It's not unexpected. They've been at it before. It's just that, well, we thought they were going to back off at some point, but it looks like this is now a full-blown tit for tat.
Yes, indeed.
And that's where we are right now as at yesterday.
Yes, the trade war, you can say that the trade war is back in full swing now. Like you said yesterday, China responded in kind to higher tariffs that the U.S. imposed last week. And now the U.S. is preparing to impose further tariffs on an additional $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. On top of that, we have news from Europe saying that Europe is preparing a list of goods to target if the U.S. imposes tariffs on European cars. So what we have here is that this trade conflict between the U.S. and China is at risk of morphing into a full-blown global trade war.
It looks like a world war, an economic world war. That's what it's beginning to look like. Because Europeans are jittery as we speak, looking at how President Trump is slapping China or Beijing left, right, and center. $200 billion. Then we just woke up, or we went to bed last night, and it's $300 billion.
Yes, indeed. It is. Like most analysts, from the IMF to the World Bank to the Economics Intelligence Unit, have highlighted this global trade war as the greatest risk that could affect the global economy in 2019. So it is very important. We have China, the second largest economy. The US, the largest economy in the world. So it is very important and could have a very significant impact.
Is this a fight between two equals, really?
Not so. The US is the dominant force in this situation. But the Chinese still have significant weight. The Chinese have approached the situation in a very measured way, but they are not afraid to back down from any confrontation. If they are confronted, they would respond in kind. So that is the risk we have here. And China is a very integral partner to Nigeria. We have this China yuan naira swap deal. Nigeria exports about 6% of our goods to China. We import about 22% of our goods from China. So if anything happens to China, if there's a prolonged downturn in the Chinese economy now, Nigeria would most likely suffer.
We should take note.
Yes, we have the Chinese investing in most of our infrastructure, bridges, ports, roads, investing in our sectors, mining, manufacturing, agriculture. So if anything bad happens to China, then Nigeria would most likely feel the impact. So it is very significant.
So we need to keep one permanent eye on both Washington and Beijing, and just to say, oh, well, that's for them. It doesn't concern us.
Yes,
it's likely we might catch the cold.
Yes, indeed. But like you said, crude oil managed to avoid these trade-related tensions.
Exactly. It just seems to bypass this tariffs war, and suddenly overnight we saw Brent at $72.
Yes.
It's been running since Monday.
That is mostly due to reports yesterday that two oil tankers were attacked close to the Strait of Hormuz. Why is this important? This is important because the Strait of Hormuz is a shipping route, a vital shipping route where over 1/3 of all shipments pass through. This is also happening amid heightened tensions.
That's Iran's backwater.
Iran's backwater. It's also happening amid tensions between the US and Iran. A couple of weeks ago, the US deployed air bomber jets and warships close to that region. So there is a risk that if this conflict escalates and a war breaks out by accident, then over 1/3 of all shipments will be cut off from the market. So this would send oil prices significantly higher, which is beneficial to Nigeria, but mostly detrimental to the global economy.
This is a global economic war going on out there right now, and we can't pretend that this is not. If you throw in Venezuela into the mix with the the crumbling of the economy is, and what have you, and the position that the superpowers are playing down there, all because of the resources anyway that is in Venezuela. But by the way, oil is number one.
Yes, indeed. This is all the scramble
So
for
Russia
resources.
is interested, China is interested, Washington is interested.
Yes. So this is the scramble for resources. All these global powers are trying to take advantage and capitalizes on those resources that Venezuela has. So it is a very vital, very
interesting time.
Yes, indeed.
Very interesting time. 1 minute you're up, the next you're down. But again, let's come back home a little bit about our own power. Where are we? It looks like all the news is talking about the fact that we're losing significantly on power generation, and it's not yet power to the people.
From this time last week, we have improved greatly. Power has improved to over 3,700 megawatts from 1,500 megawatts, which is a record low from since when I've been tracking output from the grid. Power output has never fallen to that low. We even have a quote from the managing director of the TCN saying that this last week's system collapse was worst under his leadership. So last week was very grim. And the good news is that power has improved, but we see that mostly what is affecting power is gas and grid constraints. Not enough gas is being supplied to the GenCos. The DISCOs can't take enough gas from the GenCos. So it is a very sticky situation, very intractable situation.
It's like a banana peel on the floor. Each time we try to step on it, we keep falling. We're trying to look at the whole issue. But again, I'm interested in the goodies and the downers part. This looks a little bit balanced. On the home front, we're looking at our oil prices, 20% above benchmarks, which is $60 a barrel. We're 72 now. Everybody in Abuja is happy, at least for the moment.
Yes.
The on-grid power is, it says, improving, but of course, media reports in this morning that we still lost about close to 2,000.
Yes.
Since we were thinking about 4,000 plus. If you take that, but again, if you look at the China-Nigeria trade and all that, that's still a concern on one side. We need to bring that also into what the expected impact moving forward.
Yes, that's true. That's correct. Like you said, China is a major trade partner, major investment partner in Nigeria. So if there's a prolonged downturn in the Chinese economy, Nigeria will most certainly be affected. So that is why that news is on a downers list.
Okay, let's just touch base very quickly with the commodity focus for the week for today, which is basically cucumber. This is something in my salad, isn't it? The last time I had salad.
It is a very important ingredient used to make salad. And cucumber, what is interesting about cucumber, it is a very profitable commodity if done the right way. It was mostly planted in the north, but now it can be planted across the country.
I've been to a cucumber farm in somewhere close to Ekpe, Lagos. Down Lagos.
What is very delicate about cucumber planting that requires a lot of technical analysis. It requires a technician. You need to be very informed about, for example, soil management, water management, fertilization, all those processes.
I thought it's something just put it on the ground and it just grows.
That was very particular. That's what is very particular about cucumber. It requires a lot of technical analysis. So you need to be informed. You need a technician on ground if you want your cucumber plantation to succeed. So that is what is. But on this side, there's a huge demand for cucumber. Like you said, salad is.
It's everywhere.
Salads are more commonly eaten nowadays because of this health fad that has truly overcome Nigeria. You can see you can see the number of gems that have sprung up in recent months is testament to that. So there is a huge demand for that product at this moment.
You eat cucumber as well?
I do. I eat salads a lot. Yes.
But some folks have a bit of it in drinks and what have you. It's healthy.
So it is healthy as well.
So it's nice.
I'd encourage everybody to eat cucumber.
No, you don't need to preach that to anyone. I think everybody's going health-wise these days. Thank you very much. It's good to have you. Adim Okwesa from Financial Derivatives Company.